All right, you guys, it is time for overcoming hurdles. Resilience isn't just a word for Ric Juarez. It's a way of life. His path has taken him across the globe, from military service and aerospace leadership to starting the Dear Future nonprofit organization. And today he is here to share his journey and how his hurdles inspired him to help others. Good morning to you, Ric.
Good morning.
So glad to have you here. So I want the viewers to understand everything that you have overcome. And so I'm going to say a hurdle, and if you could, I just would like you to expand upon it a little bit.
Okay.
First, starting with surviving a near-death burn accident at just 2 years old.
Yes. So one would think that it's so far ago that one doesn't remember, but the remnants of that kind of carry you throughout the life. But at the same time, it shapes you who you become eventually in the future. It becomes one of those significances that take place in the future as well.
Wow, my goodness. Okay, and then right after that, or not right after that, there was some time in between, and then you became an orphan. Tell me more about that.
It's just natural. My family's been riddled with cancer. Cancer kind of runs. It's unfortunately one of those things that gets many families in the world. And so one by one, they started dropping out. And before I knew it, at 7 years old, I was an orphan.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. And then you were just telling me you turned 16. That's when you came to California, right?
I was adopted, and I was brought to the United States as an adopted child.
Very good. From Peru?
From Peru, yeah.
Very good. Okay, but then you went into deciding I'm going to join the military, and you started dodging rockets while in the U.S. Navy. How did you find yourself in that space?
It took a few years to get to the rockets place. I think the military was one of those things that, one of the most amazing things that happened to me, because it gave me direction, discipline, what I needed. As you can imagine, an orphan, having come through all of those things that you just mentioned, I needed something to guide me, and that was the Navy for me. Many years later, after 9/11, I was flying for the military, and very often we were chased by rockets. It was one of those things that you could look out the window and see your life passing in front of you.
I was just about to ask, what is going through your head in that moment?
Not what you would think is going through your head, because your job comes first. But many years later, now that I've been retired past 10 years, I remember this, and I think about it all the time.
You're like, Lord, how did I get through it? But I did indeed.
Yes.
Very good. Now, I want to talk about, because you just mentioned how your family was plagued with cancer. And so tell me, because you went through your own cancer journey as well, my goodness, tell me what that feeling is like, especially having family who has previously been through it.
Scary. It was probably, I was 38 years old when I faced this, and my mother died when she was 33 years old. And so having passed the 33-year-old mark was interesting, but in the 30s, finding out that you have cancer is probably one of the most scariest things that, scarier than rockets, I can tell you that much. But you know what? You get through it, you think about it, you focus on family, you focus on those that love you, and you overcome these things. And you start kind of finding the reason why you're still here.
I like that, finding purpose, even in those dark times, even in that valley. Now, on top of all of that, in 2021, a life-altering situation happened when your granddaughter passed away. Tell me a little bit more about that. How do you even move through a grief journey such as that one?
One of the largest markers of life in my life, and I call it that because you have to decide, once you get past some issues, you have to decide what you're going to do with this information. It was, number one of the largest experiences of grief that I've ever had in my life. Without taking away the importance of what happened and how many people it hurt. But at the same time, to overcome this obstacle, one has to think about also the opportunity and what can one do with it. And this is where I started sort of changing my lifestyle, what I do, literally what I do. I quit my job because I needed to sort of realize what needed to be the future of me. And this is when the idea of doing something that had been in my brain for a long time was born. And Dear Future came from that moment, and honoring my granddaughter.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I mean, what a perfect way to do so and still give back to the community. Explain exactly what Dear Future is and how it helps children across the globe, not just here in our own community.
Yes, the passion of my life. So as I grew up, from what you just heard, one thing that I realized was education is one of the most important things that happened in my life. And education has always kept me in the same path. In research as to what I wanted to do with my own personal life, I realized that I wanted to help children that came from remote places and that came from extremely poor circumstances. Being in the Navy exposed me to a lot of this. It also gave me the tools to go to places that other people probably would not go, And so I explored. I went to my own country, Peru first. I went into the Andes looking for the extreme poverty that I'm talking about because I wanted to do what I say. And I found it. And I found that children were showing up to school empty-handed. No pencils, no notebooks. Schools didn't have crayons, coloring pencils, things that are extremely important for like fine motor skills, learning how to read. People say that you need to learn how to read by the third grade. Children are past that without knowing how to read. And so I knew that this is what I wanted to do.
And you really are showing up in multiple different ways. I love the fact that you are making sure that they're not just having a good home life, but having a wonderful life when they step outside of those doors. Thank you so much for honoring your granddaughter and also for going through so many trials and tribulations and still being positive and still being a light in this world. We are greatly, greatly appreciative for what you bring to the North Texas community, and we appreciate you being here this morning.
Thank you so much. I'm super happy.